All right, we're here. NAMM 2018, Anaheim, Trevor James, Mr. International, my man.
I'm here. We are here. It's been so far. It's been a great show. It's NAMM is NAMM.
NAMM is NAMM.
It's busy. It's packed, and you get tired quickly.
There's really only one way to say that. NAMM is NAMM.
NAMM is NAMM every time. But I'm so glad to be here and seeing everybody. It's just like a social gathering. Now.
So what's the new hotness? What did you run into any booths?
Yeah, I where was I? I went to Kiesel. First of all, they have two new.
They're doing some stuff.
Yeah, they have two new. They have a new bass, a headless one, and it's called the Zeus. And then they have their new guitar, a Zeus as well. And they've got like an 8-string, and they've got multi-scale now, and they're really like just changing the game.
The wood tops, you might know, John Suki?
Yeah.
So John, he sent me this pic. I mean, it looks like marble.
It's
like that's the only way I could really talk about it.
Their tops are crazy. I mean, like, and they're coming out with different like colors too. But like they have the bevel tops. Like they got the burl wood. And
unbelievable.
Like, it almost looks like a coffee table.
It's insane,
it's like
man.
Coffee table, like exotic wood look, but for half of the price. Like the regular, local musician can still go out and buy. That's one thing I've been seeing. And then of course the Jackson guitars. I just came from there, and they came out with a couple retro looking 80s vibe guitars that are pretty dope.
All right, so since we're at NAMM, let me talk to you about your rundown gear wise.
Yeah.
So you're a Kiesel guy or
Yep,
Carvin?
Kiesel now.
Yeah,
Kiesel Carvin.
Gotcha.
That's I've been with them now for, gosh, I think 7 years.
Is that
and,
right?
Yeah, I've been with them now for about 7 years, and they treat me well. I've got a couple of their basses, and of course, since I started playing, literally since the first time I picked up a bass, the first strap I got was a Franklin strap.
I didn't pay him to do that.
No, literally,
I didn't pay him to do that.
I think I was either 13 or 14. No, 13. And I walked into, I believe it was Sam Ash, and I picked up this strap. It was a brown strap, leather, and I was like, man, this is like a real leather strap. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get this. And I rock with that. I mean, it's all frayed now from playing it so much. And then after that, I got another one. And then I had gotten another black one. And then I was like, one day I was sitting around, I was like, you know what? Let me see if they're online.
I never even thought to reach out.
I was like, let me see if they're on social media just to say, hey, I enjoy your stuff.
And your defense, man, we were quiet for a while, man.
But you guys aren't now. You guys are really. This is like 2018 is like the breakout year, or 2017.
That
was
was
the breakout.
I think 2017 for us is like laying the foundation.
Yeah.
2018 is when we take the take the ties off
exactly,
and we go.
And I see it. It went from not seeing at all to no matter where I'm following guitar players, and I see the straps, even the capos that you guys have.
Well, we're all musicians, man. We're not a bunch of accountants that took over a business and just try to get the money right.
Exactly.
We're all players that wake up. I run a home studio out of my house. I've got a house full of gear.
That's what makes it so much easier when you have a musician that works in that category.
Absolutely.
That knows the stuff, that knows what
and
the player wants.
Greg spent 40 years on the road doing fingerstyle clinics, and he did bands this whole life. I mean, that's what all the guys we hire. It's just that way.
Yeah, and it feels that way.
Absolutely.
It has that home vibe. Like like you can just go down the street and be like, okay, hey, I want this. Let's go grab a beer later on. One of those kind of vibes.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. What are you doing for amps?
For amp, let me see. At home, I have 2 Carvin amps, but those I just keep at home. But when I travel, I use a lot of the backline, and it's always GK. It's always Gallagher Kruger.
Okay.
Once in a while, Hardkey, but for the most part, I haven't really needed to use or purchase an amp because they always.
It's nice to have a good backline.
Yeah, they always have it provided. But as far as since I play guitar, also now I'm in the market of looking for some good guitars. I just went by Two Rock, which they got some nice.
Well, shameless plug here. I'm a big, and our company's big friends with Mesa Boogie.
Oh, see, that's another one.
And I'm a Mark V guy through and through.
Oh, yeah. And see, Mark Bass. You have a Mark Bass.
Actually, Mark Basses are great. They have, there's this they're gonna kill me, but they have this stack where it's like a combo on top and a wedge. So if you're just doing like a house thing or a whatever, practicing,
Right.
you can just, or even in the studio, you can just take the wedge, but it's got this 412 that goes with it, and it's a full stack when it's all together. It's orange Tolex. It's absolutely phenomenal, and it's a buddy of mine's got one, and I've been jealous ever since.
Yeah, Mesa Boogie. That's another one that I dig.
Let's get in the window of Mr. International here.
In the
so
window.
you post look in the window, I guess. The you post a lot. You're recording yourself.
Yeah, so right now I am...
But you're producing yourself.
Yeah, I'm producing and playing
that.
everything. So right now, I should say last year I put out an album. It was rock influence. I kind of
doing a lot of bluesy stuff.
Yeah, I revamped my whole vibe. Like before I was very jazz fusion, crazy stuff going on, a lot of fast notes and whatnot, but I realized that's not marketable and that's not where I want to be in music. I can't do these festivals, these massive, rock festivals or whatnot, playing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So last year was like my year of like kind of rebranding myself and shaping myself, and then that I put that out. Everyone really was digging it. I did a couple live shows and people were really feeling that rock vibe.
You had the showcase guy. I remember you did
I did a recording, and that went great. That was
a live recording.
Live
that's
recording.
Right. That's right.
I decided to,
Is that in Vegas?
In LA. That
was in LA.
Where was it? Bedrock Studios.
Nice.
Downtown LA area, and I did that, and it was great. And so this year I'm working on another album, which is more refined. Like it's not, the last one was like just rock stuff, like for me it was like things that could have been taken out, put in or whatnot, but this time I feel like I found like my sound, like my lane. And so I've been since I got back home, or even before that, this past December, I've been working on it, and now I've got like a couple more songs to finish up, and
awesome.
I'll be done, and hopefully this year really be able to
you're just
break out.
You're going straight for the full length.
Yeah.
That's kind of rare these days.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like spacing it out, and every 4 months they come out with an EP or something.
I think what I'm planning now is more visual stuff. So
interesting.
Put the songs out and then do a music video of each song, so someone has more of a visual, so they're not just listening.
That's a lot of work.
They're they have a story behind everything. So more like a visual of each song to kind of put the voice and the music with the person, to kind of feel the vibe, because it's such a visual society we live in now. They listen like, okay, he sounds cool, but what does he kind of look like? And then so that's what I'm.
I might be wrong, but this whole thing, your whole musical endeavor and the chase started from playing with Pops, right?
Yeah. I the first time. So what I do for work, I do the cruise lines.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we go on, on these mega ships, that are 6,000 passengers.
Yeah, right.
And the first time I did my father's show, I was 13. I used to just do one song in the show. And then he went away for a couple weeks, and then he came back and he said, I feel like you can play my whole show. You want to learn it? So back then, that's when we used to put in the VCR. We just had a tape of the show, so I would put it in, and he went away for a week, and I was 14, and I ended up learning the song, the whole show, 58 minutes by ear. I didn't know how to read then.
Yeah.
So I learned it then, and ever since I've been performing with my dad. Back in high school, it was for summer and whatnot, just a little vacation. But now for the past like 7 years, wherever he goes, I'm his musical director now, and we get to travel the world, and he's a big part of me performing and me wanting to pursue more of a solo career rather than just sit back and always,
That's a good way to start, though. It's really ironic, and we'll get into it after this, but I have an identical story. So I can understand that beautifully.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's absolutely.
You got to keep it in the family.
So tell me about the cruise ship. So how is that?
It's a crazy.
Because and just real quick, because I have friends all the time that are offered those jobs. I've had those offers before. Or one or two, and the thought, like the ones that I've gotten are so long term. Like it's not jump on for a few days.
6-9 month contract.
Some of it is like 3 to 9 months, and you're thinking, I don't know, I might lose my mind.
And a lot of people do. And thankfully, what we do, we're considered the guest headliners. So we're, or as they call them, fly-ons. So we come on.
So you're the celebrity of the boat, then.
Right? So we come on in like the middle of the cruise.
It's a good way to have it.
We do a show that night, and then the rest of like the 4 to 6 days are on. We're just chilling. So we get on. How it works? We get on. We have a rehearsal with the band, the orchestra that's already there, 9-piece orchestra.
Do you organize that? Or somebody?
No, it's already in the schedule. We have the rehearsal is either from like either noon or maybe 4 o'clock. We have about a 2-hour rehearsal, and then we do the show that night. We do 2 shows, like 8:45 and 10:30 or something like that, and then after that we're done.
And I'm guessing there's a big entertainment company that organizes all of that.
So he has my father.
It's not the cruise line.
No, so my father has an agency, and he pretty much he gives them his availabilities. He puts it in the computer and says, okay, I'm available for this month, this month, this month, and this week I'm not going to be available. And they literally fill it in with what they have. So it can be a month, where like this when we had off because we always take time off for the NAMM show. So he'll put in the schedule, not this slot is blacked out.
Right.
And then next month, beginning of February, we go back out again because that was available. But we have that month off because it's my birthday and my mother's birthday, so we always take time off for that. But yeah, that's how it works. It's like they just fill it in all year long. Like
I think my customers and subscribers would love to, because you hear the rumors of these jobs that exist and don't really know the back end of it.
Yeah, and see, like the thing is, like
it's a mystery to them until they sign the contract, and then they learn.
Exactly, and it's a whole different world. Like what we do is so much different than what like the musicians on the ship do. Like they have to be on for like 3 to 6 to 9 months, and they room with each other. Like 2 musicians will be bunking together.
See, that's not my experience, but that's what I would be called up to. Those were the offers I was getting, and that's what I was afraid to ever do.
Yeah, it's.
I heard horror stories. But you're you're the actual show,
right? Yeah,
which is different than the hired guns.
Exactly. So when we're there, we have a regular guest. We're a regular guest, like every other paying passenger. But we have crew privileges to go to the crew area to hang out with everybody. But at the same time, we're still passengers. But the guys that work there, have to walk around with a name tag, or they can't do certain things. They can't hang around certain areas because they're working there. But it is a hit or miss. Sometimes there's people that have great contracts that just love it, and I have many friends that go on there and they extend their contract. So they might have like a 8-month contract, they extend that for another 4 months because they like it so much. And honestly, that's the best place for a musician for work, because
it's consistent.
It's consistent. You get paid, you get fed, you travel the world.
Food and consistency. Is there anything else you need?
Exactly. There's really nothing. Like on land, you're going here and here for work, and but there you play a show. Sometimes they don't even have like a guest entertainer on, and so they're on just hanging around. They'll do like their production show. They get to travel the world, free food, sleep.
Where do the boats go? It's like a Caribbean thing,
Gosh,
Alaska.
It goes everywhere. I mean, it goes from there's cruises that are in Alaska during the summertime. Then you got the Caribbean, you've got the Mediterranean, you've got Denmark.
So it's all right.
It's all over the place.
I've always wanted to do one of those Alaska ones.
Alaska's
the ice.
Alaska's beautiful. And then you can go salmon fishing and all that kind of stuff.
So can you leave? Can you get off?
Yeah, you can get off and you get
snorkel in the Caribbean.
You can do all the tours. You can do all the excursions, as they call them. And then like the last ship we got off, it sailed from Colombia all the way to San Diego, and it's doing a world cruise, which is like 140 something day cruise. And those are goodness. And it goes all the way to Australia, to the Philippines, and everywhere. But yeah, the ship life is a whole nother world. It's really.
So I despise when people ask like, "Who's your biggest influence?" because I don't want to hear that. What's the sound? What's the audible? What's that tone? That sound that you heard. It doesn't have to be a person, but what's that kind of sound that you hear and you think, I want to either try to duplicate that, or I want to put my twist on that.
Sound wise,
like what's the tone? What's that? What are you going after? In the solo thing.
My thing is it's mainly as far as tone wise. I want to not bring back, or just
add on to
that black soul funk rocker. Like, because there's not too many out there. I mean, you've got like Gary Clark Jr., which is phenomenal. Then you've got
these days
Lenny
people
Kravitz.
and it's not just that, it's every genre. Most people aren't gravitating to guitar as much.
Exactly. And that's one thing.
But the ones that do, the passion is out the roof.
Exactly. And I saw that as a outlet, because I was what I started on was guitar. And then I transitioned to bass, but then I saw that, guitar there's more of a window and opportunity.
Sure.
Like the lane isn't filled with all these guitar players that want to play, some classic rock, or just bring back some, that John Mayer kind of vibe mixed with Lenny and mixed with the Maroon 5 kind of deal. So that's a tone. And then just seeing these artists selling out these arenas, and
no doubt.
And I didn't want to be a side man. That was the thing. Like, it's great. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't want to have to rely on someone else's gig to get me by. Because they can easily say, if I went out on tour with a big artist, he can easily say, all right, I'm going to take a couple months off.
Right.
He's got his million saved up. Now I'm back home like, hey.
What's the next gig?
Yeah, I'm back here. So I'm like, you know what? When I was younger, I wanted to. That was, the thing I wanted to do. But then I started thinking, why am I putting all this time and effort to play with someone else when I can just put that into my own career, my own guy to be on their level?
You got some hired guns back home, band-wise?
Not really. I mean, I've got guys that I grew up with that, they're pretty much like family.
That get involved?
Yeah. So when I'm like, hey, I got a gig, they're like, okay, we're there. Just let us know when rehearsal is. And I used to be in a band called Monroe, gosh, when I was 18. And we were killing. Like, I met them through this website. I think it's called Band Mix or something.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I met them through there.
I did that. Yeah.
And I
was back in for me, it was MySpace. Everybody connected.
Yeah.
I remember booking a 3-month tour solely through messaging people on MySpace.
Right. That's how it was. That's how simple it was. And that's what happened. Like, I reached out to them and like, yeah, we're looking for a new bass player. And we had great shows. We had a 2-hour meeting with Randy Jackson because he heard our stuff and liked it. But, bands, they fall apart and people want to have a different concept of what the band should do, and You know
what I always say? This is terrible, but the only ship that don't sail is a partnership. And some of the most successful bands out there's somebody calling the shots.
Yeah.
And there might be loyal people in the band that are always there,
right,
but they're hired.
Exactly.
And there's someone conducting.
Yeah.
Everything, and those are, I feel like, some of the most successful things.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's kind of what you're creating, is this sort of solo vibe, and you've got these friends that are there,
right? Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah, I've got the friends and the motivation, and then just putting little things out and hearing people say, wow, that's that sounds good, is always a boost of confidence.
Right. Anybody in the world, who would you want to open for?
Ooh, anybody in the world. Oh, okay. One would be Lenny Kravitz.
Ooh.
2 would be John Mayer.
Of course.
And 3, okay, if he was around and alive, Prince.
Oh yeah.
Or Michael Jackson.
All right.
But they don't need openers.
I think that's what everybody needs. I think that's what everybody needs to hear right there. And I think now
right.
Trevor James.
Right, but yeah, definitely John Mayer and Lenny are Gary Clark Jr. I would like to. I would like to.
Dude's a monster.
Yeah, I'd like to open for him. Because it's just, they have real music and they got bands and they've been in the game for a long time.
Soulful. I think every single note that they play isn't by accident.
Exactly.
I think
and
every
it's not the same every time.
It's because it's like I try to liken it to your voice. There's a way you articulate. You can say, "Hey, baby," or you can say, "Hey." Baby, you know what I mean? There's you can say the same note 2 different ways, a million different ways,
right.
And these people every night they feel different.
Yeah.
And so of course it's going to sound different if it's genuine.
Yeah.
If it's not, if it's genuine, it's going to be said, and that's why the whole live thing. It starts to diminish because this younger generation knows YouTube. Yeah. And people don't go to live shows as much anymore. But that's what they're missing.
Yeah. That's it.
That's
like
what they're missing.
Times where it's like, hey, you know what? I feel like just jamming on this one song for 45 more minutes.
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh, as a matter of fact, we got Stevie Wonder's in here. Bring him on up here. And it's like, what? And that's the thing.
He was here the other day.
Really?
Thursday.
Because
he came. I was stopped by. There's this company that's got this, and I want to name name drop them right now, but it's not coming to me. So I'm sorry.
Are they on? Were they on this?
They're here.
Floor?
They're in Hall A.
Oh,
as soon as you
okay.
walk in against the wall, it's a French company, and they've got this ring, and you just wave it over this MIDI controller. So you play a chord with your right hand, and with your left hand, use the vibrato. And the sound it's like a Bluetooth connection from the ring to the MIDI, and through the speakers you can, C minor, da, and you go, wow.
Oh, and you can move it around.
Yeah, and
almost like a theremin kind of.
It's actually just like that, except
a little bit sleeker.
Well, it's just a straightforward note. It's not like a noise.
Oh, okay.
It's this. Yeah, it's essentially doing what a bend wheel or what a hand would do on a guitar.
Okay.
Or,
okay.
it's
like
it's
a slide.
Yeah,
it's all that kind of
all
stuff.
of that with it, and it's actually pretty cool. And Stevie Wonder walked by, and he was just like, oh, let me try something.
Oh,
and
he's always here seeing the new gear.
And he loves what he does because of that.
Because last year we saw him, he was on the bottom floor at this small little thing, and it's like a.
Holly's my favorite hall, man. That's where all the boutique guitars are.
It's quiet down there too.
Or the acoustics, and it's quiet.
Yeah, it's nice down there. And he was on this thing that looked like an abacus, and he was playing Superstition on there, and I was like, oh man, that's
the coolest,
dude.
Like
Stevie Wonder.
Oh my God, I don't even want to go there. Well, look, you're a busy guy, so let me ask: you got a full length? It's out?
Not yet. I've got like 3 more songs, but I'm going to release one song first as a single, and I'm probably going to release the music video first, then the song.
Okay.
And so hopefully February I'll have that out, and then maybe by the end of February finish everything. If not, March.
Instagram, you're at Mr. International?
Yeah, so at Mr_International, then 3 underscores after that.
Facebook?
No Facebook.
Okay.
I'm off of that.
There you go.
You know what? Here's
Twittering,
a funny story about it, real quick.
Yeah.
My Facebook twice got disabled. So the first time I had my Facebook since 2009, and I had, 16,000 people.
It's all those risky political opinions.
I don't know what. Probably. So I had like 16,000 people, and as musicians, we would post covers of songs and stuff like that. So they started blocking my videos, and then I used to do
because of the covers.
Because of it's like copyright thing. So I said
that's the first I've ever heard of that because I see it all the time.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so.
How do they enforce that? It's impossible.
I have no idea. So I started doing live streams, and we just have like a radio playing in the back. They used to take those down, and so eventually I got an email that said, "Hey, we're taking down your videos." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. Let me just delete everything, so I don't have any problem with that."
Right.
On my birthday, someone goes on to wish me happy birthday and say, "We don't see you on here." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I go along. He says, "Your account's been disabled." They took me down. So then I was like, "Okay, whatever. Clean slate. Let's make a new one. Just keeping it family and friends." Was on there for like 3 weeks. Took that down for no reason. So now I'm like, you know what? Forget Facebook. I'm in Facebook jail for life. I don't know what I did.
Well, I'm not personally on it. We run our company's thing on there.
And that's what I had my fan page, and they took that down too. And so I said, Facebook, it was getting boring. So it's just Instagram and that's Twitter.
It's kind of disheartening, but yeah, I get it.
It was like a cool place to like meet up and say, hey, who's in such and such? You can kind of reach out a little bit more. But now Instagram is seeming like the hottest thing.
That for musicians, it's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like guitar players have taken over Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And and just briefly, and I'll move on. But I was telling somebody, the people that are going to end up listening to all of these, hopefully.
You better listen.
You better listen. There's an underlining theme, and that is. And that's kind of my last topic here is in the digital age, a few years ago I was traveling around the country visiting our stores, and I'm hearing every day from these stores, well, the guitar business is contracting. Mm-hmm. Our world is pro audio. Mm-hmm. People don't play guitars anymore. People are buying laptops, yada, 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 yada. In the last 3 years, with these Instagram influencers, and now with anybody with a phone and a passion, has this megaphone to where now we're all connected.
Right.
Whether you never played a gig in your life, somebody might have never played a gig and never written a song in their entire life, never played in front of people their entire life, but boom, they got 100,000 followers.
Right, exactly.
And it's just amazing. Yeah. So just briefly touch on what you believe the role in the digital age that musicians have to take in terms of self-promotion.
It's all about, and it's funny because John Mayer actually said that same thing, that the past couple of years, these guitar players coming out and posting stuff on, and
we can all talk. We all know we exist now.
Exactly, that's right. It's like they're out there, and I'd say the main thing is to be active on social media. To
consistency,
consistent. You don't have to post like throughout the day, but once or twice a day. Like my thing is like 2 pictures, video, 2 pictures, video, 2 pictures, video.
Make it a routine.
Exactly, make it a routine, and then at the end of the week, maybe a live stream, and get more people so they know that you're active and they know that you're, doing something, because people want to see, some movement. And I just say consistency is the thing. Like, there's really no easy way around getting followers. It's just when you see people post stuff, it's like they're posting all the time,
That's right.
And it's interesting content. It's different stuff. You might post a quote, or you might post like a Q&A, like, hey, who's your favorite guitar player you're listening to right now? Or who's your favorite musician you're listening to? And get people talking.
You ever been booked from
I actually have.
on Instagram?
I actually have. Actually, when I was on still on my Instagram and then Facebook, I went on tour 3 years ago with this guy named Max Schneider, which he's blowing up now. His album, his song Lights Down Low just went platinum 2 days ago. And so he's been touring all around, but he contacted me through social media, just from tagging like bass players, guitar players worldwide.
Y'all hear that? It's about
it's consistency and
networking. Get out there.
Exactly, getting out there and being active.
Everybody else is there.
Yeah, everyone's
Why
there.
wouldn't you be?
Everyone is there, and if people get tired of seeing your stuff, they can just unfollow you. They can just unfriend you, but it's not.
But don't sacrifice the people that would be interested.
Exactly.
For the fear of not being not having interest.
Right. Exactly, and not being accepted. Right. I always say
you can get that no matter what you do and where you go.
Exactly. I always say when I post something, someone's like, you post a lot. I'm like, well, hey, I'm promoting myself, and this is the best way to do it. If I'm not going door to door knocking on people's doors saying, "Hey, listen to my song."
It's not forced.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's just posting stuff, and that's how you really get the name around.
All right. What's your Twitter handle?
Twitter handle is Mr. Trevor James.
Okay. Beautiful.
That's it.
And you have a domain? You have a website or anything like that?
No domain, no website. Just
are you on? Where's your platform that you're going to sell the?
The platform will be on CD Baby, and you can actually go to CD Baby, type in Trevor James, and I've got a couple other albums on there. The last one that I put out, My Train, and then 2 other ones that were like.
So you already got stuff up. So
go
listen
CD
to it.
Baby,
Go
iTunes,
check it out for the next one comes.
Even Spotify. It's on there.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Nice.
So for those that just want to stream it and take a listen without buying, it's on there.
Trevor James, Mr. International, or NAMM 18.
NAMM 18, we're here.
Anaheim. I'm looking forward to the future, brother.
Yeah. Future is great.
We have ambitions as a company. You have ambitions as an artist, and
I will be supporting you guys.
I know you will too.
Like
I know you will too. And we love the soldier. We love our soldiers out there.
Yeah.
And the people cheerleading and anything we can do to help.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm all about supporting.
We're family, baby.
Supporting family, supporting great thing, great vibes.
We gotta lean on each other to get us out there.
Yeah, because we're all gunning for the same thing.
No doubt.
Why not take a hand and help?
Trevor James, you're the man. This has been absolutely wonderful. I can't wait till the next time, my man.
Yes, my man.
Have a good show.
Thank you, brother.